Let's roll, homies. Make sure your mic's off. Mine was on. Good evening and welcome inside the field house of Emmanuel Lutheran High School, College, and Seminary. Tonight we've got a boys varsity basketball matchup for you. We've got Emmanuel versus the Melrose-Mindoro Mustangs. I'm Gunnard Sippert.
I'm James Schaser and Clay Bobeck on camera as usual.
We're having a little bit of difficulties with the camera, but things do seem to be working pretty smoothly. Clay's going to work on the formatting while James runs the camera.
Oh, okay.
Same usual starting five for the Lancers. We'll get you introduced to the Mustang starting five soon. Scape wins the tip, and here's Devin Christofferson. Here's Scape on the inside, and he's got a quick score for two. Scape, the Mustangs' leading scorer, averaging 20.5 points a game through at least 10 games of play. I don't know how his 11th game affected it, but he had 205 points on the season in his first 10 games. Albrecht with some pressure has to lob it back to Gamble, and a lot of pressure due here from the Mustangs. Lancers will look not to back down. A steal for Scape off a off-balance pass by Gamble. Here comes Aaron the other way. He gives to Eric Christofferson. Christofferson for three. No good. And Brian Sitto passes it out to Jonathan Gamble on the outlet. Gamble gets to his cousin Hine in the corner. David Hine up top. Sitto. Sitto for three over Devin Christofferson, way off. And Eric with the board. Eric Christofferson pushes ahead to Haruza. Haruza up and in. And one. Haruza looking for the three-point play here to put the Melman up 5-0. He connects on the free throw. And here comes Christofferson on a little one-man press. Gamble back the other way. And the Lancers look to set up an offensive possession. Last time Sippert just threw up a 3, and the time before Gamble was picked off. Lancers' third offensive possession here. Gamble gives to Sippert. Hine cuts across the lane. Good look. Guarded by Eric Christofferson. Pass out to Albrecht's weak, and Albrecht's pass is stolen by Devin. Devin Christofferson back the other way. Aaron Scaife. Scaife drives right. Good help by Ryan shutting down the drive early. Eric Christofferson into the lane. Nice pass fake. And the bucket. And Tom Williams has to take an early timeout. 7-0 for the Mustangs.
That's what you'll see from the Mustangs. They'll play a really high-paced game here, and Lancers are just going to have to match that pace.
Prolific scorers are the Melman Mustangs. And first time I'll mention this, probably of several on the night. They're currently ranked number 2 in the Week 7, which is the most current week, WisconsinSports.net coaches poll for Division 4, which is obviously one higher than Emmanuel, if you know that Emmanuel is Division 5. So of the schools, from about 210 to, I'd say, about 350 in enrollment, Melman is the second best in the state, only behind 4-time defending state champ Whitefish Bay Dominican, where obviously Diamond Stone went to school for the past 4 years.
And Giannis Antetokounmpo's younger brother is now playing basketball.
I believe Costas, and then Giannis' other brother Thanasis is in the D-League, or maybe he's even on an NBA squad by now. The Greeks invading Milwaukee and Milwaukee area. Sito again for 3. This time it's also no good. And Eric Christofferson back the other way. Eric Christofferson, one of the top juniors in the state, loses his dribble there. And a turnover for Melman. Christofferson playing with an aggravated shoulder. He separated it twice on the season, apparently, and you can see that little sleeve sort of looking thing. It's almost like it's like a compression shirt with one sleeve cut off. I believe it would be his right shoulder then. His right shoulder's been separated twice on the season, and I've heard rumors from Prof and Coach Joe Lau that if it does get separated in this game or any time throughout the season, Melman might have to shut down their point guard. Brian Siddle gets fouled on the way to hoop. He'll shoot 2. First one's no good. Free throws have been troubling the Lancers all season long. They've had good games here and there, but overall, it hasn't been a good year. Siddle gets 1 of 2 and puts the Lancers on the board. Lockington to inbound. Lancers running a zone press here. And Devin Christofferson breaks it. He gives to Haruza. Haruza gets inside on Calvin Ryan. And Haruza's got his 4th and 5th points of the night. Lancers turn it over. Ball goes out of bounds. Eric Christofferson to inbound to his brother, Devin. Junior to senior here. This is Devin's last year with the team. Eric's still got another season of play next year. Lockington up top. Christofferson looking inside to Scaife. Scaife seals Gamble, and Scaife can't convert. Gamble brings it down. Ball screen from Calvin Ryan. Jonathan's got to back out. Albrecht in the corner. Again, Ryan's not there. Ryan's got to get out of the post. Albrecht for 2. No good. Hine gets it on the board, gets a tip maybe, and grabs it. He goes inside to Ryan. Ryan had the easy look. Lockington with the block, and this will be a jump. It'll stick with the Lancers, but overall a good result there on what should have been 2 points for Emmanuel. Melman gets the possession arrow back in their favor. Matt White and Sam Lesak back into the game.
Speaking of Matt White, we have a hello from the Mr. and Mrs. White in Augusta, Georgia.
Yep.
White's the parents of Nick and Matt.
You'll probably see Nick at some point in this game. Nice pressure from Devin Christofferson, and clean pressure at that. Possession arrow now gives Melman the ball. And Coach Dale Christofferson looks pleased with his team's upbeat defense. Devin to bring it down. Devin Christofferson, I believe, has been on varsity for 3 years. Christofferson drives in. Sito, help, stops him. And Devin Christofferson with a nice basket. And I think that's something we're going to see from the Mustangs here tonight. Even though Scaife averages 20.5 points a game, and you see Lisak travel there. And Christofferson's one of the top juniors in the state. They're really a deep team. You'll see all these players score. Haruz has already got 5. Christofferson's got 2. And Lockington is sure to get on the board soon enough. Scaife drives, tries to kick it to Eric Christofferson. Eric bats it up, and that'll be over and back. Brian must have got a tip on it. Devin in, kicks to Eric. Eric for 3, left corner, drains it. 14-1 here early. The Lancers got to get a good offensive possession and get some sort of momentum rolling. Lisak. Gamble. Lisak right corner. Brian Sitto up top. Matt White inside, guarded by Scaife. Scaife with the little reach in there. It was clean. He got all ball. I think Scaife's trying to get into the mind of the Emmanuel Post players. Sitto for 3. No good. Scaife with the board. Aaron Scaife back the other way. The versatile big man takes it all the way. And 1.
Scaife is going to be a player to watch this entire game. Very good player. Great defensive players. You can see him trying to get the steals on the other side, and the and one over there shows his offensive capabilities.
Scaife and Eric Christofferson, I know, play AAU ball for the Wisconsin Playmakers. It must be 19 or 17 and under, maybe 18 and under team. A local AAU team. I know Caleb Watkins also played on it for Oliva. He graduated last year. Scaife completes. Nope. It was a little early, James, just like last year. He does not complete the 3-point play. And Riley will come back the other way. Riley Sotnick in for the first time in this game. Gamble. Drives hard into the high post. And Christofferson takes it from behind. Devin, that is, with the layup at the other end. Lancers down 18-1. Riley Sotnick sure to get some communication into this team, as he always does. The block on Lisak goes directly to Matt White, and Matt gets the 2 points. Christofferson backs in. Eric, that is. I'm probably just going to call him Eric and Devin this whole game. Scaife for 3. I did say versatile earlier. He misses it. And number 23, Andrew Anthony with the foul. Melman's second of the game. Sotnick bringing it down. Lisak has to reach out to grab that one. It gets tipped by number 13, Drew Blaken, another sophomore, and out of bounds. Both Anthony and Blaken sophomores on this Melman team. Jonah Albrecht coming back in, as well as Dylan Loken for Melman.
Jonah Albrecht, star of last game for Emmanuel Lancers, with 17 points on the night.
Even got a post-game interview from, I believe it was the Chippewa Valley Herald, that had the little voice recorder by him. Gamble to Lisak. Albrecht, good swing around. Gamble coming through. Matt White tries to dribble in, loses it between his legs. Fadeaway jumper, no good. Scaife with the board. Gamble on Scaife, and he is likely to be on him for most of this game, as Jonathan Gamble, the Lancers' best defender, often gets the hardest task. Eric Christofferson gives to Anthony. Andrew Anthony swings it. Inside to Scaife. He's got a triple team, although nobody was incredibly up on him. He does miss the shot. And back the other way comes Riley. Riley falls, almost, to Lisak. Lisak to Gamble. Gamble drives, and a travel is called. Brian Sitto back in the game. Melman's not too big in terms of bulk, although they do have some height. David Hine was telling me that there's really not a good matchup for senior post Calvin Ryan on this team, because Calvin's kind of your traditional post, and as you can see, as Eric Christofferson nails the layup there.
This is a quick, lanky team, not a Big guy.
Charge called on Jonah Albrecht.
Yeah, the best matchup for Scaife on Emmanuel, at least, I think, would be John Gamble.
Yeah.
They're around the same height, probably same athletic ability.
Yep. Possibly Nick White, but John does have more varsity experience. And we'll see Jonah Albrecht on him here as Scaife sets the ball screen. Lake, here's Lockington on the three, no good. Blaken grabs the board, up strong. It gets tipped by Matt White, and loose ball goes off of Riley's legs. Lockington again, head fakes on the three. Here's Scaife in the corner. Drives all the way into the left block, gets his own board. Nobody can block him out enough, and over the back is called on Aaron Scaife.
One thing that is a big difference in John and Scaife is willing to put up the three, and John will have to be watching on that. He'll have to close out quick when he's on the perimeter. It's
truly the most versatile, one of the most versatile skill sets for the big man with the three, because as you can see in the JV game, number 43, James Collins for the JV squad, had a good post game, but he wasn't much of a shooter outside. But Scaife has got all that repertoire as a senior. Collins is only a freshman, and that's incredibly vital to have if you want to make defenders treat you honestly. Another turnover for the Mustangs there, and here comes Brian Sitto back the other way. Drew Blaken gets in the way of the pass there. But it'll stick with the Lancers. Sitto drives into some traffic. Backs it back up. Sitto for three. Good. Loken to bring it down. Lockington on the left wing. Inside to Scaife. Scaife with a nice move on Albrecht. Just misses the three-point play opportunity. He'll go to the line for two. Scaife makes the first of two free throws. Gamble back in the game to fill in for Albrecht after he picks up his second foul. Scaife hits both free throws, and Bradley Baumel subs in for him. First time Scaife's been out of the game, to my knowledge. Sitto looking down low to Sotnick. Gamble in the right corner. Down low into White. White's shot is off. Loken grabs the board. He pushes ahead, and that will be a travel by Drew Blaken. He had to catch it behind himself. Not much of an opportunity there. David Hine back in the game for Matt White. 22-6 here, almost halfway through the first half. Lisak left wing. Hine up top. He'll take the open three. Splash. David Hine's been getting that shooting rhythm going throughout the last couple of games, improving every single game since we've gotten back from break here at Emmanuel Lutheran High School. He had an 8-point outing against New Auburn. I forgot what he scored against Augusta. Or no, that was I'm all mixed up. Anthony drives in, backs off. Blaken and Loken. Loken gets the screen left. He pops up the three, no good. And Baumel gets the easy board. Bradley Baumel kicks it out. Anthony Lockington is the only starter for the Mustangs in with this large early lead. Anthony drives right, backs off. Shot's no good. And there'll be a foul here. I believe it'll be on Baumel.
Calvin Ryan will be coming in. Coming in for...
I'm not sure.
Coming in for Sam.
At least that goes off. So as I said before, I was just saying how all the starters are offensive threats, but you see here only one starter in for Melman, and they're still playing fast pace, really quality ball, and that's the true one of the true signs of a state contender.
Deep bench is always nice to have. Being able to rely on someone
I'm sure
when you put them in.
I'm sure even through this shoulder injury for Eric Christofferson, Coach Dale Christofferson, his uncle is still pretty comfortable. Sito, the deep three, splash. Lancers lighting up from outside, but not from much of anywhere else. The other four starters getting ready to come back in. Gamble with the block there on Lockington. And it looks like Lockington will stay. The bench players will go off. Feel free to text James at the number to the right of your scoreboard. We've gotten one from the Whites so far, and they didn't even need the prompt. Thank you. Let them know how the broadcast/game is going for you. Lockington right wing. Lancers into a 2-3. Eric Christofferson open for his own deep three, and Gamble gets the board. Lancers only down 10 here, making a little bit of a run with a 6-0 run on 2 threes by Hine and Sito. Sotnick crosses over. Gamble almost gets the ball stolen. That's something I've seen from Melman after this three, I'll let you know. I haven't seen a team reach for the ball and as cleanly as they do so often. It's really quite impressive. Reverse layup for Christofferson.
Shoulder not bothering them, as you can see.
Eric's looking just fine. Sotnick all the way in. Nice bucket for Riley back in transition.
Good to get an inside shot there instead of three.
Break that inside scoring drought. Lockington gets hacked by Riley, and that's honestly a smart play.
If you're going to foul them, make sure they don't make it.
If Riley hadn't done that, it would have been 2 points for sure. Lockington is the first. His first point of the night. Matt White back in for Calvin Ryan. Second one goes as well. Here comes Sito. The Lancers have had some pretty good offensive possessions the last couple times down the floor. We'll see if they can keep that going. Sito gets a switch by Scaife on him. Ball flies out. Lockington with the steal. Pushes ahead to Devin Christofferson. Devin kicks it out to Scaife. Scaife with that length saves it from over and back. He goes up strong and gets fouled. Scaife at the line here for the Mustangs. First one's good.
Got a text in from the Ryans saying hello, gents. The Ryans, parents of Calvin Ryan.
Carl played last year.
They are usual texters in.
And you can see Carter at the
scorer's table.
Scorer's table. He's right behind the possession arrow. Scaife misses the free throw. He's now 3 for 4 in the night, I believe. It might be 3 for 5.
Got another text from the Whites reaffirming make sure they don't make it on the foul.
Lisak.
Otherwise, it's just a waste of a foul.
Lisak with the bucket down the baseline.
3-point plays are never good.
Perusa to Lockington. Inside to Scaife. Riley Sotnick with the help defense. It's not enough as Scaife gets way up over him. for the bucket. Nice pass by Sito to Sotnick. Eric Christopherson in. And we're going to get a travel.
Lancer fans getting riled up here as the Lancers start to make a comeback.
This sure doesn't sound like the crowd of a team that's down 11.
No.
Lancers fans keeping them in it.
One of the biggest crowds we've seen since Christmas break.
And on a night of a weekend, that's surprising.
Yes, Friday night, you've got
Friday
a lot
night.
of other stuff to do.
No, basketball.
I know, I was saying you got a lot of other stuff to do, but they all came to basketball.
No, that's what I was saying, yeah. All right, take you up inside the booth here quick. James looking dapper in his dress clothes. I didn't have time to change after the JV game. I had to get up to band, so I'm just in the regional championship T-shirt.
I'm representing
the refs. The refs.
Yeah, I'm a ref with red. This is the WIAA outline.
I'm a Lancer fan. No,
I'm unbiased.
All right. Anyways, back to the game. Scaife and Eric Christopherson are definitely doing their part here, but you can go back to the floor. Yep,
I did.
The rest of the starters for the Mustangs also having points as well. All of the Mustangs' points have been scored by the starting five currently on the floor. Brian Sito bringing it down. Mustangs in man. I don't think they've switched out all game. Pass from Sotnick to Lisak is off.
Something you don't want to see when you're making a comeback. You do not want to waste any possession.
It's hard to have breaks in the momentum and still keep it going overall. Devin into Aaron Scaife. Haruza, right wing. Screen catches Brian off guard. Haruza drains the jumper. And Matt Haruza's at 7 points. Lancers only down 13 here. They played pretty well in the third quarter of this second half. The third 5-minute set. John Gamble spin move off the glass. Out.
Was a beautiful move, just a bit too much on it.
I love the use of the glass, too. That's how you get those post buckets in. Scaife drives in, right. Board goes to Lockington, and he'll score. Brian Sito, guarded by Christopherson. Sito with the jumper. He nails it from around the free throw line. Eric Christopherson in. No good.
Not the usual shot for Sito. He usually likes to take the three or drive all the way in, but the stop shot is doing well.
Mid-range. That time it's no good. Lisak with the board. Throws it up. Lisak's got to go up into contact there. That was a ridiculous putback attempt. Haruza dishes to Devin Christopherson. That's no good. Sito out in transition. Lisak's not looking. Devin's going to take the deep jumper, and it's no good. It'll be off Devin as well. And the camera's gone out here, folks. Clay, I think, knows what to do. All right, we've got...
We'll be going radio edition from here.
Sorry about this, folks. Sito gives to Hine in the right corner. Up top, Lisak. Lisak swings it over to Brian, left wing. Riley Sotnick giving him a ball screen. He's not taking it. Hine goes in right. Lockington reaches. And here's Sito on the left wing.
We have the camera back now.
Thank you to Clay. David Hine dribbles up. Brian Sito gets past Lockington, but Devin Christopherson meets him with the help. Three is no good. Scaife with the board. And here's Eric. Eric Christopherson lazily dribbling the ball down. Gets to Devin.
Take a bit of time off the clock here.
Yep, late in this first half. Eric goes right. Pulls back deep two. No good. Lisak with a good board. Boxing out Haruza there. Sito pushes to Sotnik in the corner. Sotnik guarded by Devin Christopherson. Sotnik tries to give it to Hine, and Lockington with a blatant kick out of bounds. Sito to inbound here. Not a lot of motion by the Lancers. He goes deep to Hine. And the Lancers seem to do that often, and you want your inbound plays to be effective. And that the deep pass to the safety valve should not be a key inbound or mainstay inbound play. Sito gets fouled there.
Foul on Sito. He tried to make it a shooting foul, but called it on the ground.
That foul's on Eric Christopherson. His first personal.
A lot more movement there on the inbounds play.
And a better look. Gamble gets blocked. Here's Scaife the other way. Scaife gets stripped of the ball by Gamble. Sito dribbles through traffic. He's got only one guy ahead of him, Hine, and there wasn't any numbers there. Hine goes right. Gets to Sito. Sito for three. Quick release is good. And it's a 10-point ball game.
That was an uncanny quick release by Sito. Usually he likes to take some time, but wow.
I don't think that was a good shot for him, and he might say that too. Foul's going to be on Riley there.
Pulling a Steph Curry, just get the ball and shoot.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Devin Christopherson to shoot a 1-and-1 here, as the Lancers make it to 7 fouls. First one's good.
Got a couple texts here. I got a Go Lancers from the Bartles in Texas, and good job commentating from my uncle Jim Lesak, father of Sam Lesak, and
Mrs. Lesak's here tonight.
Yes, my aunt is here.
Yeah, I haven't seen Jim though. He must still be at home.
Yeah, he is. That's how I got text in.
Nice.
He wouldn't have texted me if
Yeah,
I'm watching.
He might have.
And also, my cousin Lauren, Sam's sister, is watching.
Eric Christopherson's in and out. And that's the loudest cheer for a missed layup I've ever heard. After Christopherson makes 1 of 2, Devin that is, Lancers are down 11. Nice move by Lesak. Jumper's good.
That was another uncanny shot by the Lancers there. That is very strange.
They've gotten some ridiculous ones to go down. Lesak just avoiding the travel there. Christopherson. Eric gets a screen from Scaife. Gives to his brother Devin. Devin almost thinks about throwing up into Sito. His three is no good. And Calvin Ryan gets fouled.
That'll be
The sixth-
not bonus.
The 6th team foul for the Mustangs. Gonna be on Haruza. Oh. Lockington, my bad. I saw 5 from the ref. I was like, 25, Haruza. It was number 15. Colin Lockington with his first. 25 seconds and counting for the Lancers. Ryan goes by Scaife, and that'll be a foul.
Scaife's first foul, I believe. Or
His second personal.
He's been playing a pretty clean game so far.
He's been in almost all of it. And not a bad foul, or not the wrong person to foul for Scaife, as in a 1-on-1 situation, you've got the big man shooting it, but just as I say that, Calvin nails the front end of the 1-on-1 and gets another. 8-point game here for the Lancers, showing some resurgence in this game. Calvin hits both.
Got a text in from the Whites saying that they're happy that we're not double digits away from them.
Yeah. Christopherson gives to Scaife. Scaife kicks to Devin. Devin to Eric. Eric up top. Good defense for the Lancers here. Nothing easy. Eric off balance. Nothing. Lockington goes up. No good. Lesak grabs the board. Doesn't get it off. And it'll be a 7-point game at the half.
This is a wild game right now.
A great first half from the Lancers, or great pushback from the Lancers, and It's a 34-27 game here.
It was a good start by Melman, but they had a lot of good shot attempts. They just didn't seem to be going down. They have not been lucky on the rim lately.
They've been getting a lot to the line. The Lancers have been fouling a ton when they get inside, which has been necessary because, as you can see, they're just going to make everything. We won't give you stats now. I'm going to head over to the scores table once they're done conferring there and get my stats verified by Carter Ryan.
This will be the time to text in with questions, comments, concerns.
This will also be the time to go through some graphics or other slides. We'll first go to the rosters. Not much new with the manual, although... Oh, I forgot to get a picture. Whoops. We'll fix this. No, we won't.
No, we don't.
I'll just leave it.
It's fine.
How about that? How about that? All right. Anyways, Matt White now number 24. He was 44. At least viewers of the games consistently know most of the Lancers players. Melman's roster right here. You've got a pretty deep team. Jed Jenigas, number 1, and number 43, James Polans, a junior and a freshman, respectively. Both of them played on the JV team. They both played 2 halves, and they're not even on the bench tonight. I don't believe I've seen Nick Kriesel at all tonight. I haven't seen him on the varsity bench or in the JV game today. And we haven't seen Jake Kniefel play yet. Or maybe it's just Kniefel, like knife. But other than that, you've seen all of the Mustangs players. And we'll go back to the floor here. I'll be gone for a little bit. James will either leave you in silence or do a little bit talking by himself. Or does James want to go get the stats verified? I say that's the best idea.
Oh, wow. James is getting volunteered for things now. James will go get the stats verified.
And I'll stay up here. And we're back. Text James at his phone number right there. I can always fill in for him. Clay's putting on the headset. Yep. Oh, I don't think we got sound on you.
There. Oh, now I do.
There we go. He says might as well.
Yeah.
The Lancers pushed back in the first half, cut it to 7. It's just been a really great showing from them ever since about the midway point of the first half. Christofferson, both the Christoffersons and Scaife haven't gotten their shots to drop as much, and they've been pretty aggressive. Have been getting pretty aggressively defended on the offensive end, making them go to the line and earn it. Yeah. Oh, James has my stats. What am I doing? Anyways.
More slides?
Yeah, sure. We've got the standings here for the Dairyland Small, which Emmanuel plays in. They're currently 7-2 overall, 3-2 after the win over Augusta on Tuesday. The 3 wins coming against Oliva Strum, Independence, and Augusta. 2 losses coming against Gilmanton and Blair Taylor. You see Alma Pepin on top there, only with 1 loss. That is to CFC. That was a conference loss. Oliva Strum had a 3-3 conference record, under 500 overall, however. Only 1-3 outside of the conference. Independence, a different story. They're 1-5 in the conference and 4-1 outside. And then Gilmanton on the bottom in somewhat of a rebuilding year, although they did take it down Emmanuel for their first loss of the season. They're 1-5 and 2-7. And then over to the large, where you see Melrose-Mindoro currently playing right here, 6-0 in conference and 11-0 overall. And that's a tough non-conference schedule. They've played teams like West Salem. They played Bangor on Monday, who's in the polls for the D5 rankings. So a division lower, but still one of the best teams in Division 5, which is about the smallest schools of like 30 up to the low 200s, maybe even probably like the 190s in enrollment. Then you got CFC sitting in second, 6-1 and 8-3 overall. Only 2-2 outside of conference, but some good Dairyland play from the Pirates. Blair Taylor 5-2, and another team that's not playing so well out of conference, only 1-2, but again playing well in the Dairyland. AC Lincoln's a bit of a flip script. They've played 7 games in conference, only won 3, and they've played, let me do some quick math, 6 games out of conference, and they've won all but 1, winning 5 of those. Quite impressive. Augusta, you saw here Tuesday, they're 2-5 overall, or in the Dairyland, 4-7 overall, and Whitehall still is looking for their first win, 0-6 in the Dairyland, 0-10 overall. We talked about Melman Bangor. That was on Monday. They won 73-61. a good Bangor team that lost to Gilmanton, actually, in the regional final last year. But they were one of the top teams in D5 and did give Melman a run for their money in the second half, however. You can see there that Melman was up big at halftime. What it seemed like this game was about to go to, kind of around a 43-21 score before the Lancers kind of tightened some things up on both sides of the ball. And then you saw this game Tuesday, if you tuned into Ustream, or if you've checked it out on YouTube. Emmanuel beat Augusta 58-40 after a great first half, and then they just played solid defense in the second, they actually gave up less points in the second half, just got outscored themselves. And James is back, and we've got some corrected stats. I missed 2 Matt White fouls, as well as one by John Gamble, as well as, what did I miss for?
You accidentally gave a point to someone who didn't have a point, and didn't give a point to someone who did have a point.
Okay. So let's go through the leading scorers. First for the Lancers, Brian Sitto's got 12, 9 of those coming on threes. Sotnick and Lisak both have 4. Hine with 3, and Matt White and Calvin Ryan with 2. And for the Mustangs, I'm gonna guess Aaron Skate's the leading scorer. He's got 9. Matt Haruza with 7. Eric Christofferson also with, he's got also with 9. Tied with Scaife, my bad. And then Haruza with 7. Lockington's got 4. And I believe with the corrected stats, James, Devin Christofferson's got 5. It looks like you crossed out this bucket.
And then added that bucket.
Oh, okay. I gave one of Devin's buckets, or one of Eric's buckets to Devin. And then let's go through fouls. Not too much foul trouble. Scaife does have 2 for Melman. It would have been a little more significant had he had 3 in the first half and gotten taken out some. And then you've got Christofferson, Lockington, Eric, that is, Lockington, Andrew Anthony, Haruza, and Baumel, all with 1. For the Lancers, you've got 3 players with 2 fouls, which isn't great to hear. Sotnick, Albrecht, and Matt White all have 2. John Gamble with 1 foul. Only 17 fouls by both teams in the first half. That doesn't sound right.
I was down there.
I trust you, James. I thought we had more. But we'll see throughout the remainder of the game how that relatively little amount of foul trouble might change or stay the same and affect the game. Melman back out on the floor.
If anything is wrong, it's Carter's fault, not mine. Just saying, in defense of me.
Alright, I'm going to take my little moment in the spotlight here. Not really. But when we went to the Dairyland Sportsmanship Clinic last year, James, at Olivia Strom, we were all assigned partners. Well, not assigned, but it was like choose a different partner.
Got to pick.
From someone not from your school.
Yeah.
My partner was Aaron Scaife.
Nice.
And I remember talking to him, and we did like all these activities. I did not know he was such a great basketball player. I saw him play last year. I was like, wow, he's really good. And then I look up the stats this year, and he's got 20.5 points a game, and I'm like, wow, I know that guy. And I'm wondering if he remembers me. I'm thinking no.
I was put with this Whitehall guy whose name I don't remember, and I don't think he plays basketball. He was a football guy.
Yeah. Well, a lot of these Melman guys are football guys. They made it all the way to the Division 6 football. There's more divisions. Division 6 state semifinal where they lost to Darlington. Darlington ended up being the runner-up. St. Mary Springs won the Division 6 title. So this was a very all-around successful school. Their baseball team wasn't. I believe they played the Lancers in a doubleheader last year. Lancers won both, but they do have a good track program. They had a runner 2 years ago, Alex Hatlevig, who I believe is 2 years graduated now. I think he won the 100-meter dash at state. I remember my cousin Darren Lau talking to him. And it was just like, Darren, you're really good. And it's just like, yeah, you're good too. Darren Lau.
How many conversations with Darren go that way where it's completely awkward?
Darren's fun once you get to know him. Minute left in the halftime break. Tom Williams has to be pleased with how his team's playing right now, but you can't just overlook the mistakes that they made in the first part of the first half. I wish we still had quarters so it was easier to talk about. Anyways, Melvin back on the floor. Same starting five. Devin and Eric Christopherson, Perusa, Lockington, and Scaife. Same starting five for the Lancers as well. Hine, Albrecht, Ryan, Gamble, Sito. The Lancers will start out from the ball with the ball going left to right on your screen. And let's see if this gym has the same atmosphere it did at the end of the first 18 minutes. Sito guarded by Devin Christopherson. Still man defense for the Mustangs. Scaife now on Calvin Ryan. Eric on David. Sito fakes out Devin. Gives to Gamble. Gamble with the improved jumper. No good. We talked about in the New Auburn game how Gamble has really improved his jumper over the winter break. Eric Christopherson gets fouled and will head to the line. Gamble making 4 jump shots, I believe, in that Blair Taylor game.
Yeah.
Eight of his points, might have been all 8 of his points coming up.
If he made 4 jump shots.
From outside the line. No, I was just wondering if he made anything else. Eric Christopherson nails the first.
I think that was... I don't remember seeing many jump shots from John, like, before Christmas break.
Or last year, or the year before.
Last year.
His main offensive game has been in the paint.
Definitely not the threes, though.
Yeah.
The one shot he's never taken in a game.
He said he's thinking about taking it one of these days.
Just to break the streak.
And he's going to make it. Well, off the side of the backboard, off the tip.
I'm all in for it. I want to see John make it 3.
And sink it. Oh, you said make.
You said
make. I thought you said take.
If John is going to take a 3, he's going to make it.
It's just impossible for him to miss it. I mean, he's got so much experience. Lockington goes right up into Albrecht and finishes. That moves Lockington into 6 points. Ryan gets a screen for Gamble. Sito. 2 head fakes there, and Devin Christopherson's ready for him. Dead ball. Sito gives it to Albrecht. Albrecht gets a screen. Ryan's working on the ball screens there, but nobody seems to want to take them. Foul called, and it looks like it's going to be on Colin Lockington.
Yeah, what happens mostly on those ball screens is Calvin sets a ball screen, they dribble a couple feet one way, then pass. Not really using the ball screen to its...
Yeah, Calvin's setting the ball screens for his teammates to use it. Either for themselves or to open up himself for a good look.
Pick and roll.
Escape for 3. Showing off the range here? Nope. No good.
Well, I mean, he showed off.
He is.
He showed off he can get it to the rim.
Albrecht for 3 from the right corner. No good. Bit of a slow second start to the second half for the Lancers here. Perusa inside. Good D by Calvin Ryan. Sito grabs the loose rebound.
Well, 3 on 2, maybe, numbers.
Good shot. Good attempt by Sito and by Hine. And some good pressure by Calvin Ryan to keep it with the Lancers. Lisak checking in here for the Lancers.
Sam Lisak. Lisak back in. You already said that.
Coming in.
What?
Nothing. Jonathan Gamble yells at his teammates to move, just like we were talking about. Inbounds plays aren't something you practice too much, but you do have to know how to execute them. A gorgeous layup by Brian Sito.
Looked like he was doing the spider dribble down there in the corner before he finally decided to drive.
That puts Brian at 14 points. Lockington picks up his 3rd. He'll most likely come out unless Dale Christopherson, head coach of the Mustangs, keeps him in here and risks the 4th. Sito completes the 3-point play.
It is an 8-point game, which is the exact same. It's
deficit at half?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. That.
There we go. Brian Sito, the leading scorer in this game with 15. Ball goes off Haruza's foot. Great pressure by Brian. Here he comes. Haruza boxes him out a little. Brian dribbles himself up and draws the foul.
That was great. That's a lot of hustle points for Brian Sitto there.
That was some rough and tumble basketball, folks.
I think Brian dove twice and then somehow managed to get his dribble up from on the ground and then was fouled.
They get it into Lisak. Lisak travels. He's really got to fix that. It happens about once or twice a game. Foul's going to be on Devin Christofferson.
Lancers playing with a ferocity we haven't seen for maybe this entire basketball year.
Inside to Lockington. David gets some help, and Lockington finishes despite it.
10-point game, maybe 11.
James, how do you think the new WIA rules for halves instead of quarters have affected the game?
Well, probably a lot less playing down for JV.
True.
Besides that, I think it's a good thing.
It's a
keeps the momentum going.
Yeah. Instead of 4 quarters where you could split it a bunch of different ways. Well, like 3 different ways. But anyways, you can only play, if you're going to split between JV and varsity, you can only play 1 half on each if you so choose. Gamble gets fouled by Haruza.
I have not heard one person who says they liked quarters more.
Minnesota's been doing halves for a while now. David Hine, who's from Minnesota, has said that it works pretty well, and I believe I'm a fan of it here.
David Hine, our inside man for all Minnesota things.
Gamble makes the first of 2.
Matt White in for Riley Sotnick.
And Drew Blaken in for Haruza. Haruza picked up his 2nd foul there. Lockington still in with 3.
Lancers will be playing with a bigger team this time, with Sitto the only under 6-foot man on the floor.
Christofferson back the other way after Gamble hits 1 of 2. 9-point game here. Blaken up top. Foul's going to be on Gamble after it gets tipped by him. That's John's 2nd.
We've got 4 Lancers with 2 fouls each, counting for all of the fouls for Lancers.
And did you see that, James? They just lob it in from Scaife. He can get so much higher than anybody else and finishes. Sitto for 3. Good.
Sitto has been money on his threes. I think he's only missed 1, I believe.
He missed a couple early, but he's made a bunch of his most recent
Even
ones.
that quick release that was in the end of the first half.
He's got 4 made threes on the night. 12 of his 18 points. Scaife spin move, jumper, goes in.
That was a beautiful drive there, mixing post and wing kind of
shooter
stuff.
mentality.
Yeah.
It went off the back of the rim and just kind of awkwardly died and rolled in. Sitto along the baseline.
If it goes in.
Sitto, deep 3, no good. Getting a little, feeling himself a little. That one will check him. Matt White up on Lockington. 10-point game here. Dale Christofferson calls out a play. Here comes Devin. And here's Eric. Lockington up top. Gives to Devin. Devin loses it. Lisak can't corral it. Eric up top. Wearing that compression shirt with no left sleeve. It doesn't look like it was ripped. I think that might be a specially made therapeutic sleeve. Goes off the side of the backboard. Blaken with the board. Shot's good.
Melman fans getting into it. Haven't heard a lot from Lancers fans lately.
Was that a Drew chant I heard? It might have been. I thought I heard like one of those boo.
I was hearing Coon. I don't know.
Yeah, James, just because you're a Packer fan. Matt White's shot is good off the glass.
That is Matt White's money shot. He is great at those fadeaway
jumpers.
6-footers, 7-footers,
Just
8-footers,
mid-range.
9-footers, 10-footers.
Stop it. Mid-range jumpers of all sorts are Matt White's offensive game.
That was unintentional. 6-footers wasn't far enough.
Eric Christopherson with the easy basket.
Lancers down 12.
Not out
12
of it.
minutes left into the half. Into the game. Either or. Take your pick.
Foul's going to be called on Blaken, I believe.
Riley Sodnick goes in for Brian, so they'll keep the bigs out there.
Andrew Anthony comes in for Eric Christopherson.
See if we'll get any movement on this.
Couple of screens.
No one rushing into the post, though, except for right there when Lisak just rushed into the post.
Devin with the board. Pushes ahead to Anthony. It's picked off by David. Here's David Hine. All the way in. Go!
David Hine not backing down to the two-man pressure there. Just dribbling right past him.
He went right by Lockington. Devin Christopherson to Scaife. Scaife gets a screen from Anthony. Anthony rolls. Good tip by Lisak, but Anthony finishes. That's Andrew Anthony's first point of the night.
That was good defense off the screen, but that pass was just forced in there so much that somehow got to him.
It was a good look. Anthony had a decent roll, and the timing was pretty on. Lisak chucks up another one.
Another not exactly perfect form shot for Lisak.
If he makes it, ignore it.
No, it's not. If he makes it, you can't yell at him. You don't know. You don't
that
ignore
much.
it.
Devin Christopherson, right wing. Scaife gets a tip by Gamble.
Gamble with the good defense there.
Over to Lockington. Devin. High post Blaken. He backs up to the three-point line on the pivot. Lockington to Anthony. Anthony for three. No good. We've got a foul. It looks like it's going to be on Gamble.
Jonathan Gamble. Push on Scaife. Well, Jonathan Gamble push Scaife.
That's his third.
Team's fourth.
We'll see if he stays in like Lockington did. Nope. Tom Williams going to pull him out.
There goes the kind of big lineup as we've got two under 6-footers.
Lob into Scaife again. This time he doesn't finish, but he draws the foul.
They're going to keep doing that every time. You've got to create some sort of wall.
Yeah, until the Lancers react to it.
Just somewhat box him out when that happens.
Matt White's third.
The farther away he is, the less likely he's going to make it.
Matt and John, both of the Lancers, I think you'd call fours as you go along the lineup. Power forwards. Both with 3 fouls. Oh, Jonah as well. Kind of plays the 4. He comes in for Matt. Lancers got a lot of height that just... but not too much bulk. Scaife missed the first. Here's his second. That one's good.
11-point game here, still not far away for the Lancers to go.
That moves Scaife to 14 on the night. Started off pretty hot. His scoring has mostly come from the line. Or, well, about half of it's come from the line since the hot start. Lisak gets to Sito. Sito for 3. No good.
Another quick release there.
Good fight by Albrecht. This will be a jump.
You can hear the Lancer fans there. They're getting back into it.
It'll switch over. The arrow will switch over to the Lancers, but it'll be Melman ball. Riley putting on some pressure. Making Devin fight his way across half court, or at least keeping him in check. Not letting him get ahead of steam. Blaken inside to Scaife. Scaife goes up strong. No foul. Sotnick with the board. Lancers chance to move within double-digit deficit. Push it to single digits here. Hine gets it tipped, out of bounds, off the ref, technically, and it'll be Lancer ball. Perusa and Eric come in for Lockington and Devin. Lockington goes off, didn't pick up his fourth foul, fortunately for the Mustangs. Riley calls out a play. Sotnick, the verbal commander of the Lancers. Here's Sito. Hine gives to Albrecht in the high post. Jump shot, gets tipped. No good. Eric Christopherson bringing it down with his left. Backs up for three. Three's no good. Gets his own board. Nobody blocks him out and finishes. 16 for Eric. We've been talking so much about Scaife. He's kind of gone unnoticed at points. He actually is leading the team. Make that 15. My bad. And Scaife with 14.
Scaife taking the ball up there.
Yep.
Uncanny.
Uncanny?
Well, I mean, he's the big guy. Usually you don't see him taking the ball up.
Unusual to see that. He's got some handles, though.
All-around player.
Inside, there he is. He finishes. Puts him ahead of Eric with 16. 15-point deficit. Melman's starting to take a tighter grip on things.
One of the biggest deficits since the beginning of the game, I believe.
I don't think the Lancer fans have gone quiet as much as they haven't had too much to cheer for. Not too many baskets in the second for the Lancers. They've scored 13 points. A bunch of those coming on Brian Sito threes. There was that nice bucket by David in transition. That was this half, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was very recent. Like
Matt White went off the glass, and every time the Lancers score, the crowd wants to get into it. And it's just like the JV game. We kept getting within.
It was 12 to 14.
12 to 14 points. It was usually 14. We kept getting to 12, and even got to 6 at one point. Just couldn't pull to tied and ahead. They just fought through, and Melman was the better team on the night. Hope to not see this with the Lancers here. They keep pulling within. They keep getting to 8 at best. And just Melman takes a hold of things again and extends their lead.
For a 2-hour trip, Melman did travel well to here. They've got most of their fan section filled up.
That's what I was going to say earlier. Melman's got such a long trip up here. About hour and a half, probably more. Maybe closer to 2 hours, like James said, with the winter weather. Although it was a light snow today, sunny, it was nice.
Thank you for the weather report, Gunny.
Anyways, that's what I was going to say. Probably a lot of Melman fans watching from at home if they do know about our Ustream service. Road fans, feel free to text in to James if you're from Melman. We'd love to hear from you, too. As great as it is to hear from the Emmanuel people, it's kind of special to hear from the road fans. Don't let Alma Pepin outdo you. They were great last year.
Throwback to Nick.
Throwback to, what's his name?
Nick.
Oh, no. Is he in your phone? He probably is.
My contacts got deleted.
Darn it.
Nick. It was Nick something. He kept a full conversation going with us.
I'm looking it up on West Sports. I'll find him. Maybe.
Sito takes the ball down. I'll be doing play-by-play while Gunny does something pointless that doesn't need to be done. Sito takes the ball down, drives in the corner, gives it up to Gamble. That is a foul. I believe it's on Blaken. A pull, push, something.
Just a second while I work on my pointless thing.
Let's see if we get any movement here. Not a lot, really.
They're looking to Hine on that play. Riley
Scape with the board off the block. It wasn't really a board. Someone blocked it, gave it to Scape.
Yeah.
Gamble will try and be moving him to his side. Christopherson, Eric, takes the ball up.
Anthony gives to Scape. Inside to Haruza. No good. He grabs his board up and gets fouled.
Hopefully not by Jonah, as that would be his third.
Nick's not on here. Darn. Wait, no.
That is Riley Sotnick's third foul, which is not good either.
I think Nick might have dropped out from the program mid-season. It'll hit us eventually. All right, I'm back.
First shot made.
From my pointless adventure into last year. Perusa nails the first. Riley, Matt, and John all with 3 fouls. Or that's Riley's 4th. I didn't see that. Perusa hits both. Brian Sitto might be relied upon heavily to bring the ball down for the Lancers. Sitto gets it to Gamble. Sitto into the right corner. Dribbles past Christofferson. And Eric grabs the board. Back in transition. Eric gives to Andrew Anthony. Eric, Mustang gets called out as a play. Haruza up for 3, no good. Albrecht with the board. 17-point deficit. Lancers could use some transition points. Mustangs do a good job of getting back in transition.
Or just any points.
That's true, too. Matt White answers James' call to action and finishes. That'll put Matt at 6 points on the night.
New haircut doing him good.
Perusa kicks it to Eric. No, it gets tipped, and it'll remain with the Mustangs.
Calvin Ryan in for Matt White. Get our big out there. And another big lineup with Sitto, the only not big.
Yep. Eric inbounds it for the Mustangs. Up top, Devin. Devin and Lockington return to the game.
Lancers in a 2-3, I believe, yes.
Lockington's got 3 fouls. That's something to watch for. Scaife in the corner.
We'll see how this 2-3 works for Emmanuel.
The Mustangs can run some longer possessions if they need to. Board goes through Calvin's hands, and we're right back out to the shooter, Lockington. Eric Christofferson for 3. It's short. That time Sitto grabs it. Up ahead to Gamble. Gamble gives to Albrecht. Albrecht in the short corner. Jumper, no good. Follows a shot, grabs his board. Doesn't need the dribble, however. And that might have cost him the easier basket. He'll have to earn it at the charity stripe here. Perusa's third. That was a shooting foul, but the Lancers now are in the single bonus. First one short.
Matt White back in with a short break, in for John Gamble.
Albrecht misses both, and Scaife with the board. I'd like to see if Scaife's rebounds are almost as high as his points. Devin Christofferson up top. Sitto applying some pressure. Eric, started by Hine. Haruza up top. Calvin's now on Haruza. They've got Jonah Albrecht on Scaife. Scaife's working on him.
Looks like Lancers just did 2-3 zone just for one possession.
Calvin's still in the middle.
Yeah, but David's moving around.
All right. Maybe it's kind of like Calvin's in the middle of the zone. No, because Calvin's out on Haruza on the top. We'll see next possession down. Sit over to Hine. Hine goes right, spins. Into the lane. Hine's going to take it. He gets blocked. Eric up to Lockington. Lockington will finish. Colin Lockington into double digits. He's got 10. And a 17-point lead opened up for the Mustangs. If the Lancers are going to make the comeback, they got to make it now. Sitto gets some pressure. Over to Matt White. It's tipped by Haruza. He gives it to Eric. Nice pump. Shot won't go. And Matt grabs the board. Matt White out on transition. Slows it down, gets some pressure from Devin. Matt White, mid-range jumper, that's his game. No good there. Saves it, could have let it go. And Albrecht throws it off of Lockington. And it goes off of Albrecht.
Got a text in from my dad saying Rob Sowers is apparently with him at my house, and they're doing commentary too, but this isn't your sport.
Your sport is girls basketball. Is that what you're saying, James?
Yeah, leave guys basketball to us.
To the young guns.
Well, young gun and James.
Haha.
Aha, name puns.
Alright. That was stupid.
Yeah.
Lockington inbound.
Try and keep it light and fresh up in this booth.
Riley's going to pick up Devin. Devin goes to Scaife. Scaife in the deep left wing. Gamble pressures. Doesn't want to let up an easy three if Scaife should decide to pull it up. It's looking like man as far as I can tell for the Lancers. Although not the matchups you would typically see. They leave Haruza wide open as Sito goes up to pressure. Sotnick's got to take him. Haruza goes by him. No good on the shot. Lockington puts it up, gets fouled. You can't shy away from contact. That's what Melman's been demonstrating all night. A great job of getting to the line. Colin Lockington at the line here. As Dylan Loken gets ready to come in for Melman. Lockington makes the first there. Devin Christofferson goes off. Loken will most likely be the point guard. Lockington gets both. He's got 12. Sito, guarded by Christofferson. The Mustangs have moved out of their man defense all night. I haven't obviously been in the varsity practices listening to what Tom Williams said. But it definitely seems like they didn't need to work too much on their zone offenses, or going against the zone offenses, as Melman's been playing very good man defense, keeping the Lancers to 42 points. Lockington to Scaife. Scaife gives it to Loken. Sorry, my bad on that. I think it was Loken that pushed it ahead. Eric Christofferson goes in, sees space. Haruza for three. Good. That's only the second three of the game for the Mustangs. Haruza's first.
Melman is starting to pull away with this game.
Eric Christofferson with the other one.
Up 22 points.
It looks like we're going to see Jake Kniefel for the first time, as well as Bradley Baumel again, Andrew Blaken, and Andrew Anthony. I think most of the starters are done for the night for Melman. Lisak for three. No good. Loken with the board. Gets it to Christofferson on the outlet. This game seems to be winding down with a 22-point lead for the Mustangs. Dale Christofferson calls a 30-second timeout. A valiant effort by the Lancers here tonight. They hung with for a good portion of the first and second half with one of the best teams in Division IV, a bigger school than them, a very, very athletic, battle-tested, strong team.
I think with no halftime or breaks in action, we would have kept the momentum.
Yeah, oh, true.
We had momentum going into halftime.
We've got a clapping battle.
We kept the momentum out of halftime, but then it kind of just died away all of a sudden.
Yeah. As soon as we were commenting on how, like, they kept getting inside 8 and even
yeah.
No, it was 8.
It was 8.
And then the Mustangs pulled away.
Nick White and Ben Nauman in the game for the first time.
As well as, I believe, Matt White came in.
And
Sam Buck, who we do still have to do a player feature on. I keep forgetting to do some of my slides.
This game is just too interesting.
Yep. Blaken looking inside to Kniefel. Pass is very high. It goes off of Loken's back. Did he save it, James?
No. His foot was on the line.
Oh.
Sam Buck is in for...
It looked like Albrecht.
Yeah. Or Sito.
And Sotnick in for Sito.
Yeah. Sure.
You said Sam Buck, just like Jim Lau did. Sotnick calls on motion. Sam Buck, left wing.
We'll see if he takes a three. He does not.
Ben Nauman.
My roommate.
Looking inside to Nick White, John's roommate. Nick White with the shot.
Beautiful shot there. Both White brothers scored this game.
I should have said David was my roommate at some point in the game.
Making the parents proud.
Loken goes in. Oh, I was about to say it won. It rolled right across the rim.
That's Matt's fourth foul.
Yep.
Yes, fourth foul.
Lancers with not too many fouls, but they did not spread them out over a lot of players. Sotnick with four.
Four players had fouls for the Lancers.
Sotnick with 4, Albrecht with 3, Matt with 4, and John Gamble with 3. And I believe that's right. Or at least close.
Somewhat.
Loken hits 1 of 2 free throws. Screen from Nick White. Oh, he rolls. Sotnick doesn't see him. Dribbles along the baseline. Kicks it to White. Matt, that is. And Matt drains it. Continuation.
The NBA rule that everyone wants somewhat.
That everyone kind of wants in high school, only when it works for them.
Yes. Continuation, for those who don't know, is pretty much if you
get fouled in the shooting
if you get
process.
fouled somewhat, you can just put up a shot, and then if you make it.
Watch an NBA game sometime.
You might burn your eyes out, but you'll learn something.
James with the high school bash on the NBA.
NCAA is where it's at. Watch college.
Yeah, college is like the higher level of high school, obviously. But like the NBA is a whole different style of basketball.
It's a different sport.
Is it? I think it's all basketball. Andrew Anthony all the way in. Nick grabs the board to Sotnick, and Riley will probably run clock unless they want to get one more shot. Screen from Nick. Sotnick pushes to Buck. Buck for 3. It's tipped. And no good.
And not as severe as blocking as Sam Buck got and
Blair Taylor.
Blair Taylor.
Let's not rub salt in the wound. Melman takes it 65-44 here.
I'm not sure what that was.
12-0.
Oh. I heard I want McDonald's, but that might have just been my brain.
McDonald's. Hey, that's probably what they want. All right, let's get to the... Melman takes the 21-point victory. Oh, James, do you want to go get the stats verified by Carter again?
Not really.
Please?
Oh, come on.
Please. Okay, I trust
We don't need him that much.
I trust my stats. Okay, let's recap first. Melman gets the 65-44 win here, pulls away in the second half after only a 7-point lead at halftime. So they ended up increasing their lead by 14 in the second half, outscored the Lancers by 14. We'll go down the stat sheet first for the Lancers. It was Brian Sitto leading the way with 18 points. Nobody else even came close, it seems. Lisak and Matt White both with 6. David Hine with 5. Sotnick with 4. Calvin Ryan with 2. Jonathan Gamble with 1. And for the Mustangs, it was Aaron Scaife with 16. Eric Christofferson close behind with 15. Lockington with 12. Devin Christofferson had 5. Oh, I completely missed Haruza. Haruza had 12. Andrew Anthony with 2. Drew Blaken with 2. So all but 4 of the points were scored by the Melman starters. Although the bench players did play some quality minutes in the other aspects of the game.
A lot of good defense.
Defense, passing. They did their job.
Assisting, blocking.
61 points by the Melman starters. That's an impressive stat. Let's see for the Lancers. It was Matt White had 6 bench points. Nick White with Nick White had 2. You saw that basket at the end. Nick White with 2, so that's 8. Riley Sotnick with 4, 12. Sam Lisak with 6. That's already 18. Yep, 18 points for the Lancers bench, so a little better there for the Lancers, but end up taking the loss. All right, let's go to the slides. We first got our player feature on Sam Buck. He hasn't had, as you can see, he doesn't get too many minutes in these games. Hasn't had much of an opportunity. He did score. His best game of the year was at Cornell in the first game of the year.
He was
got his first point on varsity. And he's got a couple rebounds and 1 assist and 1 steal on the year. A 6-foot guard for the Lancers. You'll be sure to see him next year. He was a pretty important player on last year's JV team. We can go to, and you see the picture right there. That was when the Lancers were doing, the bottom right picture, is when the Lancers were doing like tournaments up in the cities, and that's when the one they won actually. And Sam Buck, that was kind of when he got his call up to varsity. They had the other 9 decided, obviously. And then they're deciding they needed a 10th to play for them. And they decided on Sam Buck, so he got pulled up, and he's the 10th man pretty much for this varsity team. And he has done a good job of being patient with his minutes, in my opinion. And you're sure to see him more next year. All right, after this tumultuous week of 4 home game nights, our next broadcast will be on February 1st. We've got next week off. It'll be the girls against Independence. JV at 6, varsity at 7:30. That is again February 1st, which I believe is a Monday. And then Whitehall for the boys. Whitehall for the boys on Tuesday, and CFC for the boys on Friday. I'm not sure if the girls have another game in there. We'll see.
When are the next boys games?
At all? Like
just
varsity goes to Alma Pepin Monday, but just varsity. And then Ellsworth on Tuesday for all 3 teams, road game. And then another road game, all 3 teams at Lincoln on Thursday. So a rough week for varsity, and it's not too easy for JV or C team either. Dairyland schedule for tonight, all but every team except Augusta's in action. A really good game at Alma Pepin. Blair Taylor, Alma Pepin, that's probably the game of the night. Best matchup. Blair Taylor, which Emmanuel lost to by, 21? Last Thursday?
Yes.
And then you just saw this game play out right here. Melman moves to 12-0 on the year, 7-0 in the Dairyland. I don't know, that's 5. Cochrane Fountain City visits Olivestrom. That's a pretty good matchup. Olivestrom's having sort of a disappointing year so far. They're looking to pick it up, and a win over CSU would do just that. Whitehall Gilmanton. Gilmanton, I believe, would be the favorite team in that matchup. Gilmanton taking down Emmanuel. Haven't had their way much else in conference. And Independence having a pretty good year. AC Lincoln, that's actually, I would call like the dark horse matchup. Both of those teams weren't expected to be doing as well as they are, as we saw in the standings earlier, with AC Lincoln at 8-5 and Independence at 5-6 overall. Thank you for joining us. We'll bring you inside the booth one last time. Melman pulls away in the second half. Just a really great basketball team. We'll probably be seeing them definitely throughout the state tournament, maybe even at state in the Division 4 Final Four.
I will be personally trying to actually see them.
Are you going to go to state?
Is it in Madison again?
Yeah, it's always in Madison.
Yeah,
guys.
I live in Madison.
Green Bay for the girls. A really good basketball game here tonight. It wasn't exactly the way the Lancers fans wanted it to end, and it did get kind of slow towards the end. They just pulled away, Melman did. But some great basketball for both sides. And congratulations to Melman moving to 12-0 on the year. Keep it going. Do the Dairyland proud. Only time we're going to have to play them on the year, most likely, unless in the crossover.
Sadly, unlike the end of college, where if one team from a division wins a sport, like the other teams get some money.
Oh yeah,
we don't get any money if we win.
Get the Dairyland some money.
Yeah.
Just a really good matchup here tonight. Join us on February 1st. Not us particularly, but join the Uscreen broadcast February 1st. We'll be back at you February 2nd against Whitehall. I've been Gunny Sippert, your play-by-play.
I've been James Schaser, your color, and
we've
Clay Bobek
on camera. Thanks to everybody who tuned in. Thanks to Clay for the technical difficulty probs, and thanks to Carter Ryan for the stat verification.
Thanks to James Schaser for actually going over there, unlike Lazy Gunny.
All right. Have a good night. Have a safe night. We'll see you next time.